Well, it is a longtime lawmaker versus the emergency department doctor in the race for CD6. Congressional District 6 includes parts of Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Cave Creek, and Fountain Hills. Republican Congressman David Schweikert held that seat since 2013, but the Democratic Party, of course, wants to turn that red district blue. So Jamie spent the day with the two candidates to get them know them both personally and professionally. Hi, Jamie.
Scotty, you know, it's not a bad day at work when it consists of taking a hike and baking cookies. We asked both Congressman Schweikert and his opponent, Dr. Hiral Tipirneni, how they like to spend their downtime, and we joined them for that activity. And of course, we talk politics too. So, Olivia, you like hiking?
No.
No.
So you're making her do this, Dad.
No.
Congressman David Schweikert of District 6 starts his mornings with a quick hike in Fountain Hills with his nearly 5-year-old daughter, Olivia.
Having a little person is the greatest blessing of our lives.
Olivia was adopted, as was Schweikert and many members of his family. He says family is important to him, especially as he splits time between Arizona and Washington.
Because you're gone so much when you're in Congress. So when you come home, you try to make every second count.
And he says the stresses of life are plentiful for Arizona families as we face a global pandemic and job loss. The Republican incumbent says his goals next session, should he be reelected, are
Retirement security, Medicare protection, and economic growth for our community. We have so many people moving to retirement that have real problems.
Schweikert's faced some problems lately, paying out a $50,000 fine after admitting to 11 counts of campaign finance violations, including misuse of money.
How did you end up using campaign money to pay for things like babysitting?
Well, what's frustrating is if you go over all the years, it was $550 over an 8-year period. But I had staff that apparently had access saying, well, it's easier to just pay for it this way.
So the staff did it?
No, it's my responsibility.
He says he understands trust may be broken with some Arizona voters and hopes his past work for the district will grant him forgiveness at the polls.
Everything from the businesses we've helped recruit here to protecting the community.
Because it's the community the congressman says he loves.
I grew up with boxers.
Stopping to pet a dog on this morning walk, we learned Schweikert himself was once a saber cat, the Saguaro High School saber cat.
When I was the saber cat back in the late 70s,
You were the mascot.
I was the mascot. We had a game at Chaparral, and those horrible Chaparral pom-poms, whatever, stole my tail.
Quite a tale from the trail, but now
It was probably a Christmas where I first started making them, and then it was just all over after that.
it's time to bake a family favorite.
And they can tell.
Democratic candidate for Congressional District 6, Dr. Hiral Tipirneni, says her family won't settle for less than what they call
The world's greatest chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, well, of course, because that's what they are.
the recipe from a 25-year-old cookbook Tipirneni bought when she first got married. The former emergency department doctor is raising 3 college-age kids who still love mom's homemade cookies.
When they come home, they'll take a tin of them home.
And Tipirneni wants to take home a congressional win.
We're in a state of crisis.
She says families are struggling across the district and the nation.
At the top of that list is healthcare. And look, my background is medicine, right? And so for me, I've had that first-hand experience.
She wants affordable, quality health care for every American and says while many Americans do have insurance, she says some can't afford to use it.
They can't pay their deductible. They can't afford their co-pays.
Tipirneni's congressional goals include more opportunity and economic growth. And she says Washington needs fresh blood.
What folks are incredibly upset about is the depth of corruption in Washington.
And that's why she's running again. After taking a loss in the 2018 special election to Republican Debbie Lesko, she's running in a different district this time, one in which she doesn't live.
These are communities I know well. I've lived in Arizona for over 24 years. I literally live on the border. I have cared for families all across Maricopa County.
And the doctor feels the time is right
Cookies are ready, folks.
to serve her community in a new way in office.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Both Dr. Tipirneni and Congressman Schweikert talked about the importance of supporting small businesses during this global pandemic and making sure people had a path to rebuild after this economic downturn. During our interviews, both stressed their love of family and of Arizona. Now the countdown is on. Election Day, just 24 days away.